What's up, everybody? Welcome to Daily Refinement. This is our weekly mastermind call that's on YouTube, but we do this call Monday through Friday at the same time. And today's conversation is about easy eBay improvements. So there's not, so I want to clarify. An eBay improvement is something that saves you time or makes you more money. I think that might be the only two things that qualify. So as an example, we have Matt in the group, crowd favorite. He mentioned that the thing that he got the most from me was a SIM card router. And that makes sense because a SIM card router would improve your internet speed, which should allow you to list faster. That's one thing that actually would speed things up. For me, the two eBay improvements that I'm working on right now are unedited photos. So I'm figuring out a setup where I can take the photos, that's it, they're ready to go. And then second part would be I want to just plug the photos into my computer and there's no transfer. I don't want to do cloud transfer. And somebody in the Facebook group last night posted a cell phone hard drive. I've never even heard of this. You plug it into your cell phone, it downloads the items almost instantly. You plug that into your computer, ready to go. If that actually works, that would be much better than any kind of cloud solution, and it would be better than a cord, because it would be faster because a hard drive should download much quicker. So those are the two improvements I'm working on. I would like to not have to edit photos. That's going to save me a lot of time. And then I'd like to just plug the hard drive directly into my computer and list directly. And so photo transfer, unedited photos. So I'm working on what unedited photo am I happy with? And Tech had mentioned that white background is kind of like talking religion and politics. People get very adamant about white background, not white background, unedited, edited, touched up, not touched up, overexposed, not exposed enough. Taking it, I think everyone can agree, if you could take pictures with natural lighting using the sun, that would be the most accurate, it'd be the most beautiful, be the most realistic, but difficult to do natural lighting unless you take pictures at the same time every day. It would be very difficult to pull that off. But other than that, other than people agreeing that daylight produces the most accurate lighting, I think everyone else has an opinion on what perfect photos look like. Like some people might think your photos look like garbage. Some people, the same photos might tell other people, this is the one to buy. One person, garbage, other person, I'm going to buy. So that's how crazy it is. So let's talk about things that we think will actually save time or make you more money. Junkyard Dog, you want to start, Matt? What could make you more money or save you time?
Not much. I've already made all the big improvements, and I'm thinking that if you take time out of your day to make small improvements, you're wasting your time. Only make big improvements. Small improvements are not going to help you. Just keep the machine running until you find a big improvement, and then do that. Like for my inventory system recently, I came up with the idea of hanging instead of putting the jeans in boxes. Total bad idea to switch, because it's costing me like 2 months of lead time waiting on all the supplies, building the shelves, all the stuff. And in the meantime, I'm having to build more shelves at the old place anyway. So I shouldn't have made that change, because it wasn't a huge game changer in terms of saving time and making more money. It's better, but it's setting me back a lot right now. And I shouldn't have made that change.
That's great advice, because if you make a little change and it messes you up for 2 weeks or a week or a day or two, you lost that productivity of just listing. But if you wait, this is why little by little cleaning your house doesn't work. You actually need to take everything out of a room and put the things that you use back into the room, or it doesn't work. You can't, I mean, you could have the habit of donate one item a day, but it's not as effective as you could make a room efficient in an hour by taking everything out of it and only putting the stuff that you use in it. And then the rest of the stuff that's not in it, throw it away. So it's almost like you need to have Um, it's almost like a reseller intervention. If you have a room of stuff that needs to be listed, just like take it out, put it in your living room or on your kitchen table, and just force yourself to get through it. It's like just do it all at once. But I like Matt's thought of big improvements or little improvements. A big improvement would be like I switched my entire inventory system to the same system this month. That's a big change. Took the entire month. I had a lot of casualties because I lost a whole bunch of items moving everything. But now it's done. Now I think I can reduce my shipping time to maybe 45 seconds or under. That's a huge improvement. Big time savings for me. Yeah, that is true. I think changing how you store inventory is actually big. It is a big thing because it improves picking and it improves putting the items away. Oh, one more thought. Sorry to hog the call this morning. I was using an impulse sealer to seal the bags, which has been fantastic because they never come apart. It's basically perfect, but it takes time to impulse seal an item. I was thinking of just using a piece of tape to seal the bag. So fold it over, put a piece of tape on it, sealed. I like clear, and a lot of my items sell more than one quantity, so I don't want to pre-pack it in the shipping supply. So, what kind of tape could seal the bag shut? I don't know, but that would be an improvement for me because sealing the bag with a piece of tape would be faster than the impulse machine. Um, yes, Brian, it's necessary for me because otherwise it's loosey goosey inside the box. That's my opinion. And I have the crinkly bags, and some people have the soft bags. The soft bags don't tear as easily. I don't know what the difference is. Why do some bags tear easily and some bags don't? Lindsay, I don't want to use self-seal bags because I hate the little string thing. I hate those string things. I don't have those string things anymore. The thing that you peel off. And that, yeah, I could do that, but I was just thinking it'd be faster to just tape it shut. Cheryl reuses the Ziploc bags. That's a good idea. That is a really good idea. You can also another reason why Cheryl's idea is really good is because the poly mailers are like 0.1 ounces or 0.2 ounces. So sometimes it pushes you from first class to priority. So if you sealed it in plastic and it ended up being 16 ounces exactly, it could cost you money and time. You need to throw the bag away if you tear it open. Brian impulse seals when he ships, leaves them open until then. Yeah, that's a way to do it. It's just too loose inside the box, just not sealed. Maybe a dang, Brian. I guess you're blowing my mind. I've never actually fully flushed out if I need to seal the bag.
What size bag do you use?
I use 10 by 12.
Yeah, that's what I use. Because if it goes in that bag, then it goes in a flat rate.
That's right. That's right. That's a really good thing to point out. 10 by 12 does fit perfectly into a cardboard flat rate mailer, right? Do you use the cardboard one or the padded?
Oh no, the cheap one, the 718 or whatever one.
That's right.
Yeah, almost everything goes in that. I mean, and I assume most people know how to roll it. That way, it's easier to seal.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I hope everyone in the group knows how to fold the item, but that's another time saver. Frank, we are talking about things that either save you money or save you time or help you sell more items. One of those three things. We're talking about eBay improvements today. So, Frank, I have this is a good conversation for you because I want to know you do a lot of things. Do the things you do actually save you time, make the listing process go faster, or help you list more items? Or Frank, do you have something that you're working on?
Yeah, I remember I sent you that flow chart the other day, and
Yeah.
I always love your feedback because you always play like devil's advocate, and you always have this perspective that I do really appreciate. Because I value your knowledge, and it makes me think a lot because I do a lot of research, and I'm trying my best to eliminate things like, for instance, when we started listing on Amazon, we were pricing things individually, and now we removed that, and I just price it really high and use an automatic repricer. So one thing would be like leveraging tools that are already there, and not to be afraid to test it out. You might lose money for a few days, let's say, but is it worth $100 to try something out that potentially could save you an hour a day, right? So that's kind of how I think about it. And I'm really balancing in my mind right now. What I'm really trying to figure out is to simplify. I'm like, what if I just auctioned everything off? What if I, auction it off at 99 cents for free shipping? What if I auction it off at 99 cents plus shipping and then do a flat shipping like $5 and that's it? So I don't lose money on shipping. Or should I lose money on shipping and try and build up the loyal audience, or, encourage people to buy multiple items? So I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, there's gotta be a simpler way where it doesn't matter what the item is that goes in. And this one thing that I do could be for everything. And I'm still, after 5 years, I don't think there is one thing. And that's why I do so many different things.
Well, this is the thing, because for me, your business is the scariest business out of everyone here because you have 6 full-time employees. So for you, if you make a change and it saves time, it has a massive impact on your business. But the opposite is true. If you do something that complicates the process, or you change something, it multiplies itself through all 6 people. So it's like you have to be very clear on what you're doing. Does it save you time? Does it allow the people to list more? And this is kind of a contrary thought, but I'm almost thinking for a large seller, sell-through rate doesn't matter. I know it sounds crazy, but selling the item faster to build up a loyal base, I think doesn't matter. You could just sell the item in an extra month or an extra 2 months and
Right.
get all the money. I'm wondering about that. Go ahead.
Well, I've been reading a lot on like Walmart, and I read the Made in America again, and I'm thinking, I'm like, but the reason why those discount stores work and why Walmart was so successful is because people come back there. On eBay, there almost isn't an incentive to sell something less than market, because how are you going to get them to come back to your store? They might come back to eBay, but that if you can't make them come back to your physical store, then you selling it below market is almost like giving away something for free. If there is a way that you can get them to come back to your store consistently and creatively, then it is worth it to sell it below market, because you can build that base, and then you can do something with it. So
that is a great point. What you're essentially doing when you cheap sell an item, you're doing the lost leader for eBay, not for yourself. When you sell a Nintendo Wii for $1 free shipping, somebody thinks eBay is awesome. They're not going to go back to your store, though. They don't, unless they think Frank's always going to sell $1 Nintendo Wiis. They're not going to come back. But does anybody have a flat rate envelope to show what Brian is talking about with rolling the envelope? Okay. Brian, do you know what? Oh, actually, there's 2 Brians. Brian Vent, or go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, I mean, so a lot of times when the jeans are big, if you just put the item in the envelope, lay it so that the opening is up and the long flap is down. If that makes sense.
The long flap is down. Okay.
Yeah, and then what you do is you just take the envelope and you basically roll it over. I tell you what, let me grab an envelope, that way I can show you.
Wait, well, the other Brian is showing it. I think that. Oh, I see. That's giving you a little bit more room?
No, what it is, when you put the jeans or whatever you've got in the envelope, then you lay it on a flat surface with that, so that cardboard is showing up. Then all you do is you basically put your finger on the edge where it's bent there,
right,
and take the big part and lift the bottom of the envelope up and roll it over.
Oh.
And that way you're not like trying to fold it back. It's really quick.
I see. That makes sense.
And when you do that, you can get much bigger jeans in there a lot easier, and the folding process or the sealing of the envelope, it takes like 1 second. So instead of like trying to pull the tab back over and hold it, when you roll it, it automatically just seals.
That's a great tip, because yesterday I had my packer. I was like, hey, can you help me seal the packages? So I lined up all the packages to ship with what envelope it went into and the label on top. So everyone was ready. All I had to do was just put it in the envelope. And he really struggled to put things in the flat rate envelopes and padded envelopes and even the regular poly mailer. Because there's actually an art to folding it. You're talking about finessing the envelope. That's a big time saver.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a huge difference. Like a lot of times, if you're trying to actually pull the flap itself over, because the envelope is a little bit, it's not flat, right? Because the jeans are causing it to be a little bit curved.
Yep.
And so when you go to try and pull it over and seal it, you have to kind of like seal it at different spots.
Yep.
But when you keep that the flap flat on the surface and you push the envelope down on top of it, it seals really easily.
Also, Cheryl made the point that some people reinforce the cardboard envelope. And if you do the $7.18 one, then it might not, that takes extra time and it might be an uglier presentation. But I think the cardboard ones are fine, but I don't reinforce them. If I reinforced it, I might rethink it, because that's an extra step. And I almost want one of those dispensers that can dispense a 5-inch piece of tape. Like press a button and get the tape and put it right on it. But then that's more complication.
Yeah, I was reinforcing it with tape before I started rolling them, because I didn't feel like the seal was that good. Like it was like there was like inch spots where it wasn't actually touching the envelope. Once I started rolling them, I stopped using any tape at all. So,
Cheryl,
yeah, I'm questioning because my issue isn't the seal portion; it's the sides. It's like the glue on the sides. It doesn't want to hold. It wants to come apart.
Yeah. So what I find is with rolling it, because you can keep, like, a lot of times when you seal it, the sides tend to want to pop out, but when you roll it, you can keep your fingers on the edge, and so that when it rolls over, you get the edge. It's still folded over and then folded a second time with the roll. If that makes, I don't know if it's a little hard to explain, but if when you start to roll it over, you put your fingers basically at the edge of the envelope to keep that part there, so that when it rolls over, it's still folded in half. And so then you don't get the envelope like opening and you feel like it's going to rip down the seam.
Sounds good. Let's go with Brian Vant. Brian, what's something that saves you time or helps you sell more items?
Like we were talking about yesterday, I switched to unedited photos. The video in the group. Gosh, I forgot who posted it, but that's been a big time saver. Not using photo. I was using photo room just to edit the first photo, which is fairly quick. Just skipping that one step by using the manual settings on your camera probably saves me 20 seconds per listing, which adds up over time.
Adds up a lot. It's like hours maybe. So Brian, in the group, I think his name is Daniel. He posted about like a 20-minute tutorial, and it's awesome. So if you can get your picture set up right, that's one of the things Matt said in the beginning. It's a big improvement. Setting up unedited photos that you're happy with is maybe one of the largest. It might be the #1 eBay time saver. If you are unhappy with it, it's not a time saver, because then you're going to always be tinkering with it and messing with it. And someone in the group said they've been messing with it for years. I've been messing with it for years.
Well, it actually had a compound saving effect, because I use VAs. I have a full and a part-time VA, and when they use Google Remote to access my computer, but when you and I have an Android. So when I download the photos to my computer, the photo room photos were saving in a separate section from the rest of the photos. So they were having to spend time to move those around. So I just talked to them yesterday. So without having the edited photo room photos, it's saving them time on the listing part as well, which ultimately will lead to more listings from them. So it's kind of like an exponential time saver.
I love it. Let's go with Linda. Linda, good morning.
Good morning.
How can we save time?
Well, I love that you guys are going unedited photos, because I have to edit photos because I need to see that they need to see that detail. So I'm a little jealous on that.
So what do you do to edit the photos, and what are you trying to make more detailed?
Well, because everything's so little.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the best they're ever going to see it. They're going to see more flaws with the detail than if I didn't edit it. It would actually look better. So I just edit on my phone, though. I don't do anything fancy.
Well, let's look at these photos. I want to hear your opinion. This is Masha Silver. This lady's in New Mexico, and she sells jewelry, Navajo jewelry. Let's take a look at her photos. She tries to put it against multiple colors usually, because she says people have different color clothing. She has the mannequin. This is out of focus, but I think I think she's trying to show the detail.
Right. That velvet's awful. I try to stay away from it.
It looks very dusty.
It doesn't matter what you do, it'll look like that. Like,
look at how crazy this is. 360 sold at $122. That is a banging listing. But let's look at some other ones. What do you think of this rock?
I don't like it. I used to sell on Etsy, and things would sell better if they were artistically done like that.
Yeah.
But I'm strictly like white background.
This is also dirty.
Unless it's silver and it doesn't show up well on white. So it's white or black typically. Or sometimes I'll do both to show the differences.
Okay, let's look at some other photos.
But it does work well because she's doing native stuff. I mean, it doesn't look bad. I would just do plain if I could.
Let's see. This, I don't know if this is edited or not. Maybe not.
It's probably lightened at least.
It's lightened probably.
I usually lighten and sharpen just a little bit.
Man, it is hot. Oh, this is smart with the quarter.
Yeah, I do quarters in almost all my photos.
This store is crazy. It has a $100 plus ASP. All the stuff's manufactured.
Hopefully by natives.
Oh, it's by natives. It's in New Mexico.
There's a lot of fake native jewelry on eBay, and it makes me mad.
That's, the price difference is staggering between fake and real. Like, this is so crazy to me. 180 sold. I'm sorry, 80 sold, but $180 each. It's just it's expensive. It is made by natives though. It is
direct from artists, it looks like.
Direct from artists. This is this is why I don't recommend third-party listers, because look at, what is this? This is just some wonky stuff. Awful. Yeah, it's bad. But this is his store does maybe $1,000 to $1,500 a day, and they just keep the same quantity. Let's see this. I wonder what this black square is. Oh, it's the base of this thing. This is pretty good. You can see the detail really well.
Right. You can tell that that's real.
Oh, maybe that's why.
Like
this is
real
not made
coral,
by a machine. Yeah.
Versus not real coral.
This is not made by a machine.
Right.
Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, it is more photography talk. And it's Cheryl was saying, if we skip the photography and photo transfer part, we might have to skip the morning call, because it's like most of the conversation every day. So wait, Linda, what can you do to make your photo editing more efficient?
Well, zooming and not having to crop, like framing it out when I take the picture so that all I'm having to do is lighten and sharpen at most. And I just discovered that I can use, I forget what it's called, like an enhancer on my phone.
Yep.
And I can set it while I'm taking pictures. Just discovered that. So I'm not even having to brighten as much, which is really great.
Linda, do you have a good macro setting on your camera?
I have no idea.
That's what you need.
I mean, probably because I love my pictures. I think they come out great. So I don't.
If you want to be able to get up really close to the item and get a really clear photo in your first shot, like without having to crop or zoom or anything, anything with a macro setting. I make jewelry. I did jewelry photography for like 13 years, 15 years.
I can look at it, but again, I'm just super happy with it. I'm kind of like, don't mess with it if it's working.
Yeah, but it'll save you some editing because the macro setting will allow you to do those things. It'll take care of those things that you're doing manually now.
I'll look at it.
So
yeah.
Just
thanks.
check for one. It's usually a tiny flower shape is the icon.
Oh, okay.
One more thought. Oh yeah, I did buy wholesale from this lady. I spent $5,000. It sold for $8,000, and I made like $6,500. So I made $1,500 on a $5,000 investment, and then I sent the rest to Linda on accident. I got tired of listing it because it was like I don't like listing that stuff. But I got my money back plus a little bit more, and I sent a few pieces to Linda, and it is requires a different eye to list it. It's great. It's just you get the focus at some point, but you can wholesale from this lady in the United States. So you don't have to go overseas to get a supplier. You can find somebody local, and yeah, and also the $5,000 is only about 50 pieces. So it's not like not a high quantity game. You don't have to play the high quantity game if your stuff is over $100. Let's see. Isaiah is asking, in the case of customer retention for Frank, wouldn't the print coupon option in the bulk shipping page be the best thing you can do to get repeat buyers? Frank, what do you do with the marketing to your existing customers?
Currently nothing. And that's the thing. I don't want to, whatever I do, I got to figure it out. And obviously, yeah, coupons, the top 10 stores, like I'm looking at a lot of like top 100. I just literally had them all open before, and I'm looking at what kind of like bulk deals that they have and what they do. I might buy something from all of them and see how they package things, see their inserts. And, I think that that's a great way to do it. But yeah, obviously coupons and things like that. But again, it has like that's not a way to necessarily build a brand. You can't build it off of like coupons. Maybe you can, but yeah, definitely, a lot of thinking. I actually just reduced my flow chart, and I may, I think I might just do certain categories. Like for instance, I sell on Amazon, but maybe all board games go to Amazon, everything else goes to eBay. That would be a really simple way to reduce having to like scan things and figure things out, like and stuff like that. But yeah, that's a time saving technique. Just deal with things per category, and not like have some video games go to Amazon, some go to eBay. You got to look it up and see the price and compare it, and then what if just all video games went to one category? But anyway, that's two separate topics, but trying to stay on the time saving thing.
Okay, let's go with Michael. Michael, good morning. Hopefully you can chat. What are you working on to save time?
I would say in the topic of time saver, I'd say as a beginner, it's only been really 2 weeks for me, and I'm trying to get up and running, and I'm a big in organization and best practices, and I'm not always the best at it. So I'll say kind of
Sorry, Michael, I had to mute you because your connection wasn't the best. We'll come back to you, Michael.
Oh,
No problem. Let's go with Nick. Nick, good morning. What are you working on?
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Doing great.
So really I've been working on kind of prepping my items in advance and just doing like all the research for the items in bulk. So what I'm doing is I'm looking up all the comps on the items before I go to listing because I'm not really niched down yet, but I have a lot of excess inventory that I kind of need to start moving through the pipeline. So a lot of it, what I'm doing like the day of, if I'm researching the items before I list them and then getting the price, it kind of draws out, you know, what can take me an hour to list all the items might take me what seems like 2, 3, sometimes, you know, maybe longer than that because I'm just switching gears all the time. So I'm working on researching all the items like in one block of time, getting all my prices straightened out beforehand. So then I just have a list of everything that's going live, picture, getting all the listings up and then taking it from there. So that's been saving me some time.
How do you approach listing different items? Is it the first part of your day?
What, like the listing process?
Because that's something because I still have items that don't match my category that I want to just sell and then be done with them. And I'm wondering, it's not in my schedule. Listing items I that are not in my category is not in my schedule. And what that means is I never end up listing them. So I'm wondering what do you do to get like, you know?
Well, and you're doing so much volume just in your one category, so it's tough to detract from that because the volume that you're putting up on those listings, it's time spent towards something else. It messes with your efficiency.
Yeah. But that's just, I guess I'm just looking at it the same way as you, as in I'm a beginner at selling jewelry armoire. So like it's like I have to research it. Okay, what are these worth? What's the best platform to sell how am I even going to ship this? And I just put it on Facebook Marketplace and I said, if it doesn't sell today, it'll be in front of my building.
Yeah.
Because I mean, and
it gets to that point, you know, you need the space and that sort of thing, you know, you got good things going on. I have such a mishmash of stuff left over. Like I bought a storage unit a couple months ago, so I still have stuff from that, you know, garage sales and that sort of thing. So
Brian says 5 a day. So maybe everyone in the group have this habit of 5 a day of items that you shouldn't have picked up or you don't like, or low ASP, or they're bulky, or they need cleaning. 5 of these types of items per day maybe is part of the schedule. So in the beginning, all of your items are that because you're just starting.
Yeah, and that's the tough thing. Like I'm running through a lot of my higher ASP items and I have a lot of lower ASP. So it's tough because I see, you know, that's going to be a challenge on the business. So I got to get more volume up, you know, for those smaller or lower price items. So.
Yeah, that low priced ASP item is always a struggle because you didn't pay much for it. So it's almost like free money if you do get it listed, but then you have to get it listed.
Yep.
Michael was saying his connection wasn't the best, but he's saying he's working on building a workspace and putting everything in its place. That is huge, not having to look for things. I had to pick on Patty, was saying, you know, she has 5 of something because she couldn't find something and had to go to the store and rebuy it. And it's also for me, I had that problem with scissors. So now every single station has its own pair of scissors. And you know what's ironic? I haven't lost any scissors since I did that. It was the moving the scissors from station to station that caused me to lose them. Patty, what are you working on?
Oh, I'm still listing, still working through that pile that I got from the estate sale a while ago.
Okay.
So just listing every day. I'm getting close to 1,000. So pretty happy about that.
I love it.
It's taken me, you know, forever, but I'm sticking with my, like, 20 to 25 a day.
Okay.
You know, I had a good weekend sales. But yeah, no, everything's, you know, just churning and burning, I guess. You know, that's
Bethany,
it.
or do you
Nothing
take
exciting.
do you take photos first?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what I do is I take 20 to 25 photos, and then I have a basket next to my desk, and then I sit down at my desk, and then I put my SD card in, and then the last thing I took pictures of is at the bottom of the pictures, and then I just work my way up, and then I delete the pictures, and then I go take 25 more.
Easy enough.
So, and I try to leave 25 in the basket for me to start in the morning. So I just start listing right away, normally, like when we're doing this call.
Okay. So I want to ask what people think of this process for me, even though I just asked you a question. At the end of the day, as part of my reset to zero process, this is what I was thinking of. Transfer the photos from my phone to the computer that I'm going to be listing on, right? Then delete the photos on my phone. So no photos on the phone ever. They're transferred, done. Confirm they're transferred first, then delete them on the phone. Is there anything wrong with that process? Because the phone would be the same every day. It only takes 10 or 15 seconds to delete all the photos. So, because I want this reset to zero concept of having, like, if Patty was full-time and didn't have to manage a household, and every day she just put that basket next to her desk, and then the end of the day, the basket was empty, that would be really satisfying.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
How are you transferring to your computer?
Right now, the best way for me personally right now is AirDrop. It's better than Google Photos and better than Dropbox.
Okay, if you do connect your phone to your computer through wired, and then you're going to transfer, instead of copying it, cut it.
Can I don't know if you can do that on an iPhone. On a Android, you can.
You can. I've tried it on the iPhone.
You can cut and paste?
Yeah. Instead of copy, cut.
Oh.
So it's already taken out of your computer, out of your phone, and it's in your computer. That's one step less.
Cut, paste. Okay. Then there'd be no deleting.
What version of iPhone did you try, Mark?
I'm not even sure. I think it was 11. It was the
because I haven't been able to do that since iPhone 4. After iPhone 4, they stopped allowing the feature of using it like a hard. I'll have to try again. If that does work though, that would be easier.
Yeah, it's one of the most recent iPhone that came out that I did it on.
Because this is the process right now for AirDrop. I select the photos I just took, AirDrop. Once it's done AirDropping, delete. That's the current process that I use right now. I tried Google Photos, but the problem with Google Photos was 500 items at a time. So if this actual hard drive works, I hope I can set the settings. You plug it into your iPhone, hit download all the photos, and say don't. And if I cannot keep a copy on my phone, so it's just downloaded onto the hard drive, plug it into the computer. I'm not going to move them from the hard drive into the computer. Just leave it on the hard drive and just list directly. That would be awesome. So Syed says that he cut and paste from an iPhone 11. Okay, I guess I would just have to learn how to do that because that would be an alternative. And Matt was talking about it taking an hour to transfer photos. I would like it to be 1 second, if possible.
So just use Amazon Photos.
I'm never using Amazon Photos. Never cloud again. I hate cloud because the cloud sucks. It takes longer.
No, when you take the photos, it automatically uploads on Amazon Photos.
Patty, he's dead set against cloud. It's not.
No cloud.
We spent 2 previous days talking about cloud. He's dead set against it.
Okay.
Never.
I mean, you can find a wall to beat your head on if you want, but Chris and the cloud are it. They're that wall.
I'm over the cloud.
Chris, I'm guessing your worry is that the items might not sync like how they typically do. Like you just one of those days in which you're taking the
No,
pictures.
it's just I have to get it off of the server.
I see.
It goes into Amazon, then I have to get it off of Amazon onto my computer. I don't want to do that. I want to if it could list from Amazon directly into the eBay listing, awesome. But if I have to get it off of Amazon or off of Google Photos, that's an extra step.
Well, yes, the whole thing you're trying to do is cut out that extra step.
Yeah. Yeah. And yes, it's possible that it might not sync too. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, you could just get a PC and an Android and relearn every other step of the process.
I know, right? I did that with when I was learning macros. I bought a PC to learn AutoHotkey, and it was fun but totally pointless. So let's see. So Brian says the same thing. He deletes the photos on his iPhone and it goes into the deleted folder for 30 days. And so you can recover it if you need to. Michael says he's going to hit Patty's going to hit 1,000 listings. Michael in the group's going to hit 100 listings. This is great. Just think about whatever your next goal is. And I think this advice from Tech really helped me. If you have a 1,000 item store, you're going to make more money with a 2,000 item store. So just have a bigger store and you'll probably make more money. And if you just think about that, then all the other things that Matt was talking about earlier, like, is changing my lighting kit going to help me to go from 1,000 to 2,000? Maybe not. Or it might if your photo station is one.
I had another idea this week. Yeah. Like my category of men's jeans goes down by like 30-40% in the summer. So if I had 10,000 active listings, now I would need 14,000 active listings just to keep the same amount of sales, which kind of sucks because it's starting to become summer. So if I grow, like I'm just catching up against, the slowdown of my category. But, you kind of.
Oh, Matt, how come you don't do like jean shorts and that type of stuff, like summer wear, like bottoms?
I got my hands full with just one category, man. Yeah. I tried another. Yeah.
Yeah, it's something to consider.
But Matt, as you scale, it might be like as you start hiring people, maybe that's something to consider, is just adding a category just for summertime.
Yeah,
like
I've thought about that.
There are like production companies that only produce, I'm thinking of Ball canning jars. They also produce those like 24-ounce cans for beer. And the reason that Ball canning jars lids were so impossible to find last year is because they skipped their production season of canning jar lids to make more of those cans for breweries for COVID. And so they skipped their seasonal item production, but you could add a seasonal production item and just
that's not a bad idea. I could just switch everything over for 6 months and then go back to the other thing for the other 6 months.
You can take the summer off too.
Yeah, there you go. Take the summer off.
Yeah, I got my third employee starting next Monday, and I'm like, man, my sales are already down because I haven't been listing anything in the past 2 months since I moved in the warehouse. I've been listing stuff, but it's slowed down tremendously. And I'm like, man, I got a whole nother expense coming on board. My sales are down and they're going to continue to go down because it's the summer. Right. I'm like, okay, all right. With the start employee, we really got to pump out some listings here because, I need to get the cash flow going again.
So I'm going to talk about this tonight. Oh, so for those of you in Patreon, tonight we're recording the podcast and the topic is going to be on, there's two ways to make more money. One is to reduce your expenses and the other one is to sell more items. Those are the two things. But here's the thing. Usually when you sell more stuff, you make less per item, almost always. So that's kind of annoying, right? If I could sell definitely one item for $1,000 profit, but the next item might be 900, the next item might be 200. And then as you continue, now you're at $5 when you're at hundreds or thousands of listings, or maybe even less than $5. So that's crazy. Or is that just the reality? As if Matt adds if he goes from 3 employees to 5 employees, does he make less per item, but more total? That's, more total profit or profit per item. Because when I hear people say, I make $20 an item, I think to myself, you probably don't sell that many things. Because people who sell tons of things don't make $20 profit every item. It's really unlikely.
No, they don't, because they're hand picking everything. I figured like the fastest solution is just get everything in bulk. Like my average buy cost per item is like under $2. And I felt like once I changed my cost of goods, like you make more money, like you said, when you change like your cost of goods. If you can lower your cost of goods, you're going to definitely make more money. And if you list more items, it means you're going to sell more, which means you're going to make more money.
And that's kind of the only expense you can reduce. eBay fees are the same. Shipping fees are the same, right?
Well, every year they go up.
Yeah, even worse. They go up. But I'm saying they're never less. You can't reduce your eBay fees or your shipping fees. Because even the bulk, if you have like I was going to ask Tech if he sells enough items to get the bulk discount from the post office, but it's only a few cents. It's not like I think if you ship 200 a day, the post office will give you a break, but it's like, it's not significant, and it's not like it's not going to go up twice a year. Because I got this comment. This is what triggered it, which was, Chris, I can't list more items every year because I didn't improve any processes and stuff is getting harder to find. What can eBay do for me? I'm like, you're going to be out of business if you if you find less items every year, your expenses go up every year, and you haven't improved your listing processes. eBay is not going to do anything for you. I didn't want to be rude. I was going to say literally nothing. Literally nothing is what eBay is going to do for you. But I get it. I mean, it's kind of depressing to think, do the same exact thing next year and you make less money. Right?
Hey, Chris. I have a question.
Yep.
Can you share what computer you use for your workstations?
Okay. This is controversial. But now that I'm not editing, it no longer matters. But I use an Apple M1 Mac Mini M1.
You don't edit your white photos anymore?
I'm going to move away from that. And I'm not going to have VAs anymore. I know it sounds crazy. But I don't want any extra steps.
So you're going to train people to do it all the way through?
Yep. I'll tell you the big secret. You ready? Yeah. Photograph the items. Hardware transfer. So no cloud. Somehow get the photos from my camera into the computer. Sell similar. Add the photos. That's it.
Almost sounds just like text process.
It is exactly like text process.
I know.
So I'm skipping it. No more VAs. And is Frank still on the call? Frank, hopefully you can hear this. Frank, I don't know if he can hear us, but you can't do it faster than that. I've looked at every single way to sell on eBay. It's slower than that. What I just described requires no virtual assistants. And it's really, really, really fast.
Are you going to change to employees, or are you still going to do contractors?
So one of my ladies is leaving I have 2 part-time and 1 full-time contractor. The last day for one of the contractors is next Wednesday. So she's donezo. So I have 2 people now. They prefer to be 1099, but because of that, I can't dictate exactly what they do. Mm-hmm. So I might say,
issue with that?
I don't have an issue with that, but I might have an issue with that. If I want it to be done exactly the same way, I think I need to convert them to employee. Like, okay, you're not a contractor anymore. You do it my way the entire time you're at work. You don't, this is just how it's done. So,
because with the contractor, they can take breaks when they want to, and it's way different.
And they get paid per box, so I don't have to worry about if they take the whole day off. It doesn't affect. They get paid based on number of items they do.
Is it going to be cheaper for you if you go to employee?
Yeah, because each time I make. Oh, actually, no, because this way of doing it is already the fastest way, so I can't improve it and make it faster so it's cheaper over time. The only thing that could happen is they could get better at it and get it done in a shorter amount of time. But if you give somebody hourly pay, you can't be like, you know what? I know that you agree to 40 hours a week, but since you get it done in 26 hours, I'm only going to pay you 26 hours. That's not going to work.
No, yeah.
So it's not going to make me more over time. It's going to be a set cost. But the reason why I bring up Frank is because he and myself, we've been working on ways to make it faster that don't exist. There are no ways to make it faster. So I've given up.
Just copy somebody else.
Just copy. Well, not just copy somebody else. Copy the fastest way.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, yeah.
And we're pretty lucky to have him in the group, though, because I mean, everyone could literally just mirror his process, and then you're gonna cut out all the other bullshit, you know?
Oh yeah, and if you look at his store, he sells in different categories when he finds it. He just does it the same way. So it's not like it doesn't apply to things that are not clothing. It does.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try listing shoes today that way. I'm sure it's gonna be exactly the same, except for this.
Yeah.
Except for the storage of shoes is slightly different.
I know. Yeah.
But the listing is the same. Take the photos, make the listing, sell similar, add the photos, launch. If you have to do another 1 to 5 minutes of research on the price, okay then. But if you don't have to do the research on the price, it's the same.
Chris.
Yeah.
Could you make a video about you listing the shoes? I just want to see what your time is, because for me, I'm averaging like 4:50 to 5 minutes per listing.
All right.
So,
I'm gonna take the pictures outside.
Well, I don't, with the photo process, that's okay. I just want to see you do the actual list.
Okay.
Like just the list.
Sounds good. So this is great. Brian summed it up. Sell more for less to make more total. But it's not necessarily for less. Maybe for less profit. Sell more for less profit per item to make more total profit. I think that's the Walmart way.
So are you doing this a method where you like lay out 20 shirts and then measure them all and then take photos of them all on the ground?
No, I'm not going to do it on the ground because my photographer said she would quit if I did that. So it's going to still be a vertical. And I'm taking pictures of the measurements now.
You know, I'm thinking about taking my measurements out of the description. I've been putting them there. But,
me too.
I mean, that's what Tech doesn't have them there.
Nope, he doesn't, because I think it forces them to look through the pictures. Yeah, I agree with that. I used to have it in the description too, but
and the problem there is that, you know, so I shoot the measurements and I can see where they are when I'm shooting the photo, but then you want to make sure they match up to what you put in the listing, right?
That's right.
With pants though, there's like 5 measurements.
So I've combined waist, inseam, cuff, rise into 3 pictures.
So you have 2 measuring devices in one
go
photo.
Go ahead, Matt.
You could do waist and rise in the same picture.
You can do
cuff and inseam in the same, right?
You can actually do waist, rise, and cuff in the same picture.
Oh yeah, you put the cuff up. You know,
yep. you put the cuff. You put the cuff up at the rise, so you can use the same ruler. So, I took my photographer aside, and I was like, okay, measurement photos. How do we do them fast? But I actually don't do waist, rise, and cuff in the same picture. I do waist, then the rise and cuff in the same picture. But I'm just thinking now, it's because the reason why I do that is because the way I take the photos with the measurements is left hand has the yardstick, right hand has the camera. I put it right up, snap, snap, snap. That's how I do it, instead of the reseller ruler, which is multiple angles at the same time. It's because it's on a vertical flat lay. That's the reason why I switched that way.
All right, I'm thinking, I got something like this.
Yeah.
Right. Instead of having to hold the thing, I got a tape measure with the little button on it, right?
Yeah.
I'm wondering, there's usually a fourth one right here for rise, but I don't include rise on men's jeans.
Yeah.
So it's just 3. But yeah. That's it's kind of interesting though. I never even considered doing the cuff and the rise in the same picture.
Yeah, and I'm holding the ruler so I don't have to move the item. In your situation, you move the item.
Yeah, I got the item set one time for waist and rise, and then I retract the rise ruler, and then I move it, and then set it in place one more time for the inseam and the cuff.
I think I will for sure be the largest pants seller on eBay eventually. So I should just figure out the but I like the idea of waist, rise, and cuff in the same picture. That kind of excites me because it's like just less pictures. But then also, if you do waist, inseam, rise in separate photos, you get more photos, and eBay likes more photos.
So how big is the difference in traffic for photos from like 6 to 12?
How big is the traffic? I don't
How
know.
big of a difference does it boost your search results?
No idea, but there's tens of thousands of people selling jeans. So I should have all 12 photos.
How many are you doing? Are you doing 10?
9.
9? Okay.
9 photos. Thomas? You're
Yeah, hi. Yeah, so after our meeting yesterday, after the Zoom meeting, and after watching that video on the Patreon page with the photography, by the way, that was an amazing video. It was so helpful.
Yep.
So I bought myself a Canon Power Speed, a little bit better than the one that Tech is. The one I bought has Wi-Fi built in. So the idea of watching that video is that I can transfer the file as I take the picture to come onto the computer. Do you think that process would be quicker than using a hardware?
Nope. Any version of the cloud, in my opinion, now is garbage. I changed my opinion. If you either plug it into your computer and it immediately works, or it's garbage. That's just my new opinion. I have a new opinion now. So everything is modified. No more virtual assistants. No more trying to figure out a better way. Just figure out a way to do a hard drive, because you can just load from the hard drive into the listing. You don't have to do any transferring. That's just my thought. Wi-Fi is great. Dropbox is great. Google Photos is great. It just takes more time. That's in my opinion. So actually, it's not even my opinion. It's not faster. It can't be faster than, I guess, if you have one of those hacks on your camera so that it will work with the door off of it, that would mean you don't have to open the door to take the memory card out. That would be the only thing really fast. Or you could plug it. I don't know if you plug your camera directly into the computer, if it loads as fast as the card reader. My guess is it does not. So you still need to remove the memory card from the device.
I'll tell you what I've done today. Because I'm waiting for my new camera to arrive. And I mentioned yesterday about you said that you can take pictures straight on eBay. Well, I've done that today. I just took the pictures straight from my phone onto eBay, and it saved me like 20 minutes.
It's amazing. It's amazing. So Brian is right. Everyone's way is fine, but the transfer time can't be faster than no transfer time. Any transfer time is more than no transfer time. So it doesn't matter how you get your photos from your camera into your desktop. But since my new idea is, if it's not hardware like Matt's pointing at, if it's not plugged in, it's garbage. That's a strong opinion. I know, coming from someone who's tried every single method. I have every single subscription, all canceled. No more Dropbox, no more Google Photos. That's it.
Cool. Thank you.
John is saying you can shoot. Okay. John's way, where it's tethered, is really good too, because that's a permanent hardwire. It's just that for me, the cord gets in the way. That is actually faster though, because you don't have to remove the memory card. It's just literally click, it's on a desktop, click on a desktop. That's literally the fastest way, but for me, the cord gets in the way. Same with Linda. Linda's saying that the transfer time is not bad because you can do something else. Matt can plug his computer in and go have lunch. It's yeah. Like I said, I used to do cloud transfer. I still listed 200 items a day. So it's not like it's so slow. It cripples me from listing. It just takes longer.
I can share one time saver I got.
Please do.
This thing for all my USB. So
those are great.
So I'm not switching between, like, because of my photo card or my Dymo label maker or my scanner or anything else. So just bought one of these and then it plugs in and then I just have to push the button for what I'm using it for.
Why not just leave them all on? I have that.
Because the Dymo label maker, if they're all on, it's right here next to my mouse, so it's just a matter of just reaching over with my finger. It give me an error message, so.
Yeah, you can just type in USB hub and get whatever one is cheapest on Amazon. I just leave all of the buttons on mine because I don't. It's fine. Although the Dymo is power hungry, it does use a lot of power compared to the other devices.
Yeah, so this alone, just because I was so sick of like having to switch out cords and.
Oh yeah, huge time saver.
Yeah, I want to say it was like $9 on Amazon.
Don't pay him over $10. Let me see if we can link one for somebody. Let's see.
Yeah, hang on, I'll throw it in there.
Okay, let me see here. Let me see. USB hub. Oh, I found the one that you use. It's $8. Let's see. I have
it went up in price.
Let me see.
It went up. It's $11.99.
So somebody in the chat put their iPhone to USB. I'm gonna put that in there too because iPhone USB drive. Wow, this one is really cheap. I wonder if it's legit. This one is only $30 for 256 gigs. Let's see. So
she's up. It's time to go.
I know. Baby's up. Time to go. Everyone have a good day.